All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald along with Sergeant Laquita Wade. We are with the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division. And right now, our patrol officers and detectives are on the scene of a triple homicide. At around 5:20 p.m., East Precinct officers received a call from a third party that there was a vehicle accident in the 1700 block of Indian Summer Drive. Officers arrived on scene. Originally, we thought we were en route to a wreck. However, we soon learned that this was going to be a shooting. What our officers observed when they arrived was a blue sedan in the front yard of a residence, and it was riddled with bullets. Upon further investigation, officers observed an adult male, an adult female, and a small child inside the vehicle. All three were shot. Birmingham Fire and Rescue personnel arrived on the scene and pronounced all three victims deceased. The preliminary investigation has revealed that we believe some sort of interaction took place in the 1700 block of Indian Summer Drive, which anyone that's familiar with this area, Echo Highlands Park is a park that sits at the end of the 1700 block of Indian Summer Drive. Some sort of interaction took place between the occupants in the victim's vehicle and the suspect's vehicle. Right now, our detectives are trying to learn what took place that led to the shooting. One thing we are thankful for this area, there's nothing but houses in this area. There's nothing but residents in this area. This is where we need you. If you have surveillance footage, if you heard anything, if you saw anything, it is crucial. Please reach out to us directly, or you can reach out to Crime Stoppers. If you caught anything on your surveillance footage, Crime Stoppers will honor that reward the same way they would if you called in a tip. If you turn in a surveillance camera, it's same as if you called in. But we have to get to the bottom of this immediately. Again, we have three victims, adult female, adult male, and one of them is a small child.
Can you give us the age of the child, age range?
Very small child.
I mean,
we're talking that baby's no older than 7 or 8 years old.
Okay, so school age.
School age.
And male or female?
Young boy.
And are these parents? Do you know the relationship between the three victims?
We would suspect that this was their child. At least one of the parties in the car, that was one of their child.
So do you have a suspect or no?
We do not have somebody in custody.
How do you know the suspect was in the vehicle?
Residents in the area, we're hopeful that they call in and give us an exact description. However, in the initial calls that we have, we do believe the suspect fled in a vehicle. Plus, anyone familiar with this area knows this is a one-way in, one-way out.
So is this the way you get to the park?
That's how you get to the park. There's only one way to get to Echo Highlands Park, and that's traveling on Indian Summer Drive. So there's no outlet.
Is there any reason to believe that there actually was an accident that happened? I know that the call came out as an accident. Was there an actual accident that happened leading up to the shooting?
After the shots were fired, the victim drove a short distance and crashed into some decorations in a residence yard.
So no other, it's a single vehicle accident?
Single vehicle accident.
How many shots were fired, would you say?
Unknown. That car's riddled with bullets. Somebody shot into this car with multiple people inside, killed a child, and we need the public's help. If you know anything, if you saw anything, if you live in this area and you have surveillance footage, it's crucial that we get that footage.
Would you say this was a regular gun or some type of rifle or a gun that has been alternated, a switch gun?
It was a gun that killed 3 people, including a child.
BPD talks all the time, weekly it seems, about the need for conflict resolution skills to be brought to the citizens of Birmingham. And whenever you see an incident like this, where not only are adults affected, but a small child as well, because we can't resolve conflict without using a gun, tell me about what you're seeing there from a police officer's perspective.
Excellent question. We're seeing all lives are innocent to us. I'll tell anyone, anytime we see a homicide, it affects us no matter what. But when you have a child, you just have to be honest with yourself. It affects you differently. And in this case, we have a small school-age child that got caught up in the violence that's taking place in our city, and we have to ask that question: when is enough going to be enough?
Do you have any witnesses that said the family was in the park? I mean, were they in the park, or were they just driving through the neighborhood? What is the relationship to the park?
One thing we can point out, the majority of the shots were fired in the parking area of the park. This area, Echo Highlands Park, people park where the shots were fired, and they either go in the park or interact with each other right there in that area. So something took place in that general area that led to shots being fired. The best thing that we have going for ourselves in this investigation is there's only one way in and a one way out. Somebody saw something, somebody heard something, someone's surveillance footage captured these individuals leaving this area.
You talked about conflict resolution. Can you confirm or deny that this is a targeted incident?
This is such a secluded area that, and based on where we are observing the shots, they intended to shoot into that car. They killed a child. We need to get them off the street immediately.
But we don't know if they set out today to kill these people, right? It could have
That's-
just been an argument.
It could have been an
It's not like
argument,
an ambush.
but it's the unknown. It's the unknown right now.
Right.
However, we have
It
a
was targeted in that moment, but
it
not
was targeted in
necessarily
that
5
moment,
minutes
but
before.
unknown if it was premeditated.
Right.
And no reason to believe that the people in the car live in that house at this time.
That's unknown. All we know is 3 people got killed in our city tonight. They're ours. They're our responsibility to be their voice, and a child was among those 3. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey, what neighborhood is this?
Echo Highlands.
Echo Highlands.
Echo Highlands.